My gosh, people. I'm so sorry about that. We're having some lag on the stream right now. It seems like my capture method is not quite as stable as I'd like sometimes, but that's what I've got for the moment. So we'll just keep working with it and see where we can go. Okay, there we go. Put that there. And there we go. I believe that got both of these at once. It did. It got both of them at once. Lovely. And we can keep on going this way. Yeah, we'll keep going this way. But for the most part, are you still there, Playful? Are you still connected to Discord?
Yeah, I came back.
Oh, good. Yeah, I think my connection's going a little fuzzy. Which I honestly have so little control over. If I could have a little bit of influence over the internet and the way that it seemingly, without fathom, goes in and out, then I would. Maybe someday I'll have control over that, but not today. So, some things that have been on my mind, just for a little bit today. I was thinking about back when I was so much younger, maybe like probably when I was closer to around 16 years old, I had such an edge to me. I think most young adults have like this desire to be edgy. It's kind of like the goth phase, but it's the phase that generally people just sort of grow into and then out of, sometimes at a startling pace, I've found. For me, though, that phase was, that was a good one. That phase was not my favorite, I'll be honest with you. Just because I feel as though I behaved rather boorishly for a lot of it, and any young man can behave boorishly if not taking in the correct precautions of their behavior, but it's never something that you want to admit, usually. But even so, I find that a part of me. Ooh, look at that one! That was a good ending to that little river right there. Usually, I don't have to worry about that problem because I'm incredibly well behaved. But I found myself acting a little boorishly again recently, just because I was in a very, I guess I was in a bad way just recently, and it makes me sad that I'm still capable of that. But I think everybody is, and it's easy to forget that we're just human, right? We all make mistakes. We all do and say stupid things from time to time. But the importance, I would say, is remembering that even if we act with stupidity, I mean, we still mean well, right? We still mean well and have good intentions and all those things. And if you don't forget that, if you keep that in mind, then you can't go too wrong in my eyes. Oh, there we go. And then we need a 14 and we're good. We're really close to connecting these two. I want to wait and connect them in some other way in a second, though. But boorish behavior is, the least of some people's worries. Some people don't seem to be able to have a good time without stepping on the good times of others. Like trolls, especially Second Life trolls, that sort of thing is such a strange behavior to me. I understand why someone would do it. I'm not naive or willfully ignorant to the concept of being a troll in Second Life, but it always strikes me as having kind of an insanity to it. You know what I mean? Kind of a slight insanity. But I think generally you have to be slightly insane to play Second Life anyway. So there's that. Let's see. Your emo phase was Evanescence. Oh man, my mom and sister both shared like a phase of Evanescence together. That was back in the day though. That was in the early 2010s probably, maybe even less than that. Man. I remember that there was a time where I was not as into Evanescence as, you know, some people are. But I appreciate it just about the same. And when I was playing a series called Stalker, which is a very interesting series that takes place in like a Russian post Chernobyl after like another big old disaster that they've had. Ooh, if we had a 3 connection right here, that would be perfect. It is it's full of Russian alt pop. And I didn't know I was into Russian alt pop until I played that game. But there's a lot of really great bands that are just like, you know, they're just normal bands, but they happen to be in this really great style of like interesting, very charming, almost folkish kind of patterns in the way that they have their music. And I hadn't heard that before. One of them is actually called Gorky Park, which if you've never heard Gorky Park before, they're kind of cool. You know, they've got their own little rhythm, their own little thing going on. Yeah, I'm connecting these. This is too good not to connect right there. And I found them to be excellent. I really enjoyed their music. And I definitely recommend listening to Gorky Park and listening to, I believe it's called Zone Punk, that music type. That might be a complete mislabeling or misnomering of it, but for the most part, people have very good ways of expressing music in places that, you know, you never expect. Like, I would not have expected to be into that sort of thing, but just being introduced to new perspectives and being introduced to new ideas, that's what a huge portion of exploring music is all about. And you know what? If it takes playing some games that, you know, aren't always the best for you as far as maybe being sensible or being a reasonable or responsible adult, you know, sometimes you play games like that, and it's not always the worst thing, believe me, to be unreasonable or unsensible. We live in kind of an unsensible world, so being a little crazy sometimes is fine, as my good friend Crazy would say. It doesn't like that one. I think there's too many houses there for it to really connect properly. I'll put this like right here. Maybe we'll connect with it here in a second. Ooh, a rail ending. Those are always so rare in this game, the rail endings. We could just connect them right here. Okay, now this is kind of sad. Just a rail, just like 2 lines of rail next to each other. You're just like, well, I don't really know what that was intended to do. Once again, it's like a decorative rail set. You're just like, I mean, I guess, you know, I guess it makes sense. Who am I to say that, right? Who am I to say? The decorative rails. Let's see. I like that spot for you. Yeah, this is an okay spot. I wonder if we're going to find like another tower for this, and then we just need a junction for that too, and that would be great. It'd be really great. I don't think that's ever going to be used for anything once we put another tower here, so I don't know if that's a good spot for it or not. We can always do that. find something else to connect right there. Ooh, wow. Oh, look at that. That's just, there are these moments in this game where I see the connections that it makes, and I'm just so blown away. Like, are you seeing this, Playful?
Yep, for sure.
Hey, your microphone sounds really good right now.
My headset died, so
It sounds better. I don't know what you did, but it's a good sound.
I don't have my headset in. So
Oh,
the
great.
batteries were dying, so I have them in my charger.
Okay, cool. Well, for the most part, it is this game does a super good job at creating environments from a series of what otherwise would seem like completely unnatural segments that sort of form into very natural looking environments. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it quite a bit, actually. Let's see. We have some houses over there, some houses over here, and some water over here, and some railing over there. So we're going to finish this railing off right here. We're going to finish off this water over here in a second. And we're going to finish these houses off right here too. Oh, well, they don't like that, do they? I think I'm going to place these right here. I think. I don't know if it wants me to connect that though. Well, we'll see where that goes. Is this going to have any connections here? It does. Okay, it does. And then we'll do that afterwards. Oh gosh, there's not like any good connections there, but we can do this over here, and it will do just fine. Just fine. Look at that. Oh, I love that. That's good. That's really, really good. If we could get like a connection here with an ending rail, I love this. You guys, it's very satisfying to see the like the different sort of vibes come together in these areas and these buildings. It's very good. Very, very good. You know what? This stream is exactly what I needed, which I'm always happy to say. It's a nice thing. Where's a good place for this? I'm trying to figure out how to get this one right here, but I keep coming up with stuff that isn't. I keep forgetting to like have the installments of the ones where I need them. Can I put this over here? I can. Ah, it's finished. Look at that. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Ah, man, this is very cathartic. This is a very cathartic and satisfying game, I have to say. Oh, you know what? This is a water. This goes over here probably. Connect that one. Oh my gosh. We're getting uncanceled by the second. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's another two. Wow, we're back over 45. We're really doing well. We're doing real well. I'm happy about that. Okay, and is that one? Oh my gosh, it was a close off. Oh wow. I'm happy. I'm really happy about that because sometimes you really want to. I'm not gonna worry about that. Sometimes you really want to close off one of the passages, but it doesn't let you. But every now and again, it's like, yeah, just the perfect pieces show up. And it's very, very fun. It's very, very fun. This one wants this right there. I don't know if I can really place anything there, but we'll try. You know what? I just closed it off by accident. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. You get what you get, right? It wants what? It wants 301 plus. We could still make it work, I think. So let's put this there, and then we'll see where that goes. We'll see where it goes. A bit of Dorf. You know, just some lovely Dorfin around. Cassius Dorfshima. Dorfin around, Dorfin around, Dorfin around, Dorfin around downtown. Yeah, there's some of these that you just can't worry about fitting properly. You have to not worry about it. You just be like, you know, just don't worry about that. Just keep on making what you want to make, and let the let the game worry about the stuff that you don't want to. Because the game, you know, this game it's very pretty, and you don't need to make things to like fit the mold exactly to have a good time. You just don't. Let's see. Over here would be nice. So I think you get a I don't know if you get a bonus for placing things, particularly. That's not a perfect. I knew that wouldn't be a perfect. This might be a perfect. No, it's not. Okay. You know, I don't know how sometimes I can tell it will be a perfect, but it was not that time. I could tell it wasn't going to be. I can just tell. Is there a connection over here? There is. Okay, cool. You know, I'll say it. I love this game. It's a very, very lovely game. Ooh, I can use that. Right. No, I can't use that there. Where's a good ending block for this? Because all my railroads are in one spot. I know you shouldn't keep all your rails in one spot, but I just love doing it. I just love doing it. I need something kind of like this over here to the ending of my rails, but not this exact thing. This, but not this. You know what I mean? This, but not this, if you know what I mean. That's actually a really weird song. I'm not going to sing that. It's a very weird song. I was singing karaoke with the Queen of Chickens earlier. She knows what I'm talking about, but nobody else will. SpongeBob karaoke, which I would worry about having like a copyright infringement strike if I sing it right now. So I think I'm going to refrain. But I promise you, in almost any other circumstance, I would be fine singing it. In almost every other circumstance. I don't know how I'm going to make this work. I just don't know. I'll try it. I'll try placing a hexagon anywhere once, but I feel as though I'm making mistakes more egregiously by the moment now. Ooh, this is a good water spot. And this just wants oh yeah, I think I've stopped myself from succeeding completely with these ones over here. It's okay, I'll just start over here. Worry about that later. Do we want to start a new rail yard over here? I feel like that would cause us to have problems. So I'm going to do the thing where I just completely, like, don't worry about it, I guess. Completely don't worry about it. Oh wow, I think I put myself in a little bit of a pickle here, because I don't know if I have any place to put my new railroads. Well, you know, maybe I will place it over here then. Let's see what happens. Ooh, this is a 99er. Is this going to be a good thing to place this here? That is. Oh, it's a very good thing. Good. Slightly uncancelled. I was watching Code Carnage earlier playing Deus Ex Human Revolution. Or no, that's Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I was a big fan of Deus Ex for a little while, though honestly, I've always found that they don't quite employ the game design that is best fitting to my playstyle. Because when it comes to stuff like that, I like to go around being incredibly aggressive, and once again, there's a bit of a violent streak in me with that. And I like to play games in a very in a very like tactical sort of situation. Queen of Chickens is now following. Well, look who it is. Just who I was talking about. Behold the mighty queen and her chicken army. I was just mentioning you. But yeah. Well, lovely. Well, howdy there. I hope you're doing well. And we did it. We did it. Look, we found the missing piece. Ah, the perfect piece. That was a 3 perfect in a row. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that really made me feel better putting a piece there. Well, yeah, we are playing a little bit of Dorf Romantic, this lovely little hex builder where you try to make civilizations from hexes, and you get bonuses depending on how good they look and how well you place them in the quests that you finish while doing so. In fact, I can put something right there, give myself a little bit of a bonus. It's actually quite a bit of fun. Yeah, make yourself at home, and make yourself at home. Oh, and thank you so much for the lovely conversation you had earlier with me. I'm very grateful that we got to do that. I know I think I've already said that a bunch, but I am grateful for it. Is there a connection point here that I may have completely separated? Yeah, there is. Oh well, I guess I'm not using that. Is there anything open here as far as grain goes? I left myself completely out of the loop with the grain. That's too bad. I can do this one, so it's something at least. It does become a little more difficult to micromanage all of your different things you're trying to make around this point, the 7,000 point mark, where it's like, ooh, there's a lot going on. Maybe I should like slow down, but you're like, no, I can't slow down. I must, the progress must continue, of course, but at what cost? It's always a pleasure having a conversation with you, friend. Oh, well, the pleasure's all mine. A perfect, that is a perfect. You know what? I don't know how I know that, but I'm always, like, when I see a perfect, I'm like, yeah, that is a perfect for sure. So, let's see, where do we want this one? Do we have any houses we're trying to do? No houses. Oh, there's a house section, though. Good. Oh, well, we're still trying to do a river over here. Can we connect these two by chance? Is there a connection we can make from this river to this one? Because that would probably net us some points if we could. There's something that could happen here. I don't know how I'm going to do that one, but it's incredibly lovely when you get the right tiles for something, because oftentimes you're like so desperate for tiles and you're like, oh no, I don't have the right ones, and then you just kind of stumble onto them, and it's a lovely sensation of getting exactly the ones you're looking for. I think maybe we should like just close that one off. I don't think it's going anywhere. I feel like that's a trap, but I'm going to go for it. It's not a good idea, but I mean, we're below 10 now, so I think we're going to cancel anyway, but that's okay. What did I do right there that seemed to like what I did there, but I don't know what I did. There we go. I think we'll probably play a second round after this. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. We plugged the hole. Lovely. Oh, you know what? I wanted to mention something that I haven't ever brought up on stream before. Actually, maybe I have. I don't remember. It's been so much streaming I've done over the years. What is your favorite movie, Playful, or do you have one?
There's too many of them. Way too many of them.
What movies? Or favorites?
Way too many favorites.
Oh. I know what you mean. Yeah, I think we have reached our point of cancellation, because I've got nothing else left to really put here, and and so we got canceled. 7,400. We have not broken 8,300 yet, but you can see us start from the beginning if you'd like to, Aiden. It's seriously a lot of fun, like just seeing the development of this game. If you had to say a couple of movies that you really enjoy, though, where would you start?
Probably, and this has always been a classic for I don't know how many people, but probably The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Twofer. I think The Wizard of Oz is a lovely movie. I don't know if I'm as into it as a lot of people are. Oh, I hate when they start you with a railroad this early. I'm gonna start over here though. I think it's an exceptionally powerful movie. I've always found though that it never quite struck me the same way it seemed to get everybody else. There we go. We're
What
doing.
I kind of liked was, sorry to cut you off,
Oh, go ahead.
but what I kind of liked was in the beginning of the movie, it was black and white. Then after the tornado, and she landed in Oz, it was color. Then when she went back home, black and white again. Like, how did they do that? It was amazing.
Technology, right? I mean, the time of the inception of that movie, that was practically magic for almost everybody involved. But when it comes down to it, it was just a lot of really, really hard work by a lot of really talented people,
Oh, for sure.
and yeah, they worked their butts off, and it paid off. It really paid off. Really, really paid
Who's
off.
your favorite character in that movie?
I like the Tin Man. The Tin Man always felt like he was the most stable of all of them. I don't know why stable is the word that comes to mind, but yeah, he always felt like he was like the most reasonable of them. Maybe I liked his axe too. I've always thought the axe was like a good like, oh, he can at least be of some help in a scuffle, though it doesn't seem to help him very much. Though
No, not really.
I know there was an awful thing about the paint that was used being super bad for you, but they suffered through the role, and that's the sign of an artist, is that they're willing to suffer for their role. And gosh, what an awful thing, but still, I mean, the movie got made, and it's an incredibly successful movie. So what can be said, right?
Mine was always the coward.
You mean the lion?
Yep.
Yeah, the lion.
And
The
it's not
lion.
the fact that he was called the cowardly lion. It was just the acting was spot on.
I do like how your reference to him was just the coward.
Well, that is part of his name because he was such a wimp.
I know, but it's just so telling of your opinion of him that you would refer to him in just that sense. It's like that's the only defining character feature you have for him. It's lovely.
Yeah, that's true.
It's lovely. I enjoyed hearing you say that because I also feel that he's a very cowardly persona. And maybe even fursona is the right word for that. I don't know. I don't know. What I can say though is it is an exceptional part to be playing in. Certainly because like that's a role. Oh, what have I done? Oh, what have I done? Oh no. Well, it's
What
okay.
did you do, Cass? Did you cancel yourself?
No, I don't think I'm canceled yet, but I got closer than I'd like. I got closer than I'd like. But thank you. It is. It's interesting that in The Wizard of Oz, if like you were a part of that movie, that was such a huge social event, such a huge grand display of prominence in the movie industry. And I like to think that it was probably almost like bizarre and otherworldly to be engaged in that kind of performance. But some movie stars, right? They can just get into their role no matter what it is, and I'm always blown away by the capacity that some people have to do that because I often find that I'm not quite the most capable of getting so deeply immersed in a role. Hey, look, that one worked. But I mean, you know, I've played a couple of things in my time. I've played Sith Lords, and I recently played a really interesting character for my D&D game. Was a like a big head honcho guy from the lore, and I don't usually make roles like that, but it was fun. It was fun, kind of overacting a little bit. Certainly, The Wizard of Oz is the time that you should overact. That's the time for you to overact. Is that movie? Especially because it was kind of a kids movie as well, and
Yeah,
genuinely,
exactly. That's
kids.
what I kind of grew up on those kind of movies, like The Wizard of Oz, a lot of the Disney, the classic
The classics,
Disney movies.
for sure. That's the time to overact, is in like those movies. Because you know that, and I'm sure you're familiar with. I don't know why I'm thinking of the word pistachio. That has nothing to do with this. Uh, I,
Pinocchio.
I know that's the place that your brain should go, but that's not even where my brain is. My brain is on the perfect nanny, the nanny wizard, the nanny drops from the sky in an umbrella.
Nanny McPhee.
No. See, this is the problem. Nanny isn't even a part of the title. It's just that's where my brain is. I the one where she there's that scene where the other nannies get blown away by her magic powers. Mary Poppins. I know. That I was so misleading in the way I tried to describe it too. I was so unhelpful, but that's the movie I was thinking of. Do
That's
you?
a good movie though.
It is a very good movie. It has some really interesting special effects too, actually. The special effects in the Mary Poppins first release, where it's like they have the table, that they have the candlestick and the broom and the other stuff going through, even though it's like there's no way that should effectively make sense. But you know, that's the magic of editing, is you can make things that literally could not happen. They just do. They just happen. The magic of special effects. But for sure, it's really important that bridge to fantasy can sometimes not ever go fulfilled, and like its connection there. And the world is all about connecting the dream that a person might have to reality. You know, that's what we live for. Like, I would say that making like a bridge between reality and dream, just the idea that, oh, that's a lovely spot for a lake right there. Wow, and we need 5 more. Good. That's what people live for, is, you know, the potential of connecting their dream to reality. That's like the American dream to some degree, if that makes sense. You know, to the quarter acre of the dream. Where's that noise coming from? That I don't know where it came from, but I can't seem to find the reason it's showing up. The quarter acre of the dream. I think if I was ever going to own land, where's like the place you'd like to live if you were going to live somewhere playful? Where would you choose? Like, what state would be your ideal state to live in?
I really don't know, but definitely anywhere but Canada right now.
Anywhere but Canada. You're talking about the weather is why you're saying that, isn't it?
And right now, with what's going on,
You mean the political situation?
that and this pandemic.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I know that that's really gotten you down.
I mean, I know we really don't talk about it much here, but just the fact that we keep getting restricted all the time because new people keep coming in, we shouldn't that shouldn't keep happening. We should have stopped that by now.
Anne says, I'm heading out, Cass. I'll catch you later, homie. I'll see you soon, Anne. Or, Ain. Gosh, what did I say, Anne? See you soon, Ain. I have a very small opinion about that matter. I just want people to be safe, and whatever is the most helpful in that endeavor and also the least like invasive is the way I would prefer we handle it. We have not succeeded in almost any capacity in doing that, though, which is it's just the way it goes. I mean, sometimes you drop the ball, and this was a really complicated, complex, and important ball, and it's been dropped over and over again, you know. But I mean, there's nothing I can do. I'm just a little pea in a pod. I am so uninvolved in the process of that sort of improvement to the world. It's why I don't get bent out of shape about it, because I mean, I have so little control over that, so worrying about it is certainly not going to assist me in any way.
And I totally agree with you on that. It's just, it seems that you guys kinda, sorta, and I emphasize kinda, sorta, have a better, like, you guys aren't as restricted as Canada is right now. Ontario, for that matter.
Well, I've never been to Ontario myself, so I can't speak for that matter, but what I can say is that people, despite whatever circumstance we're living in, right, you know, sign of the times, sign of the world changing, people still have to live, right? You can't just put the world on hold as much as it might help some people. This is getting kind of techno in here because of the dwarf techno. People have to be able to live still. And I don't know the answer to solving the problem of, like, you know, do we stay in or do we go out?
Yeah.
But what I can say is with the proper safety, I think anything's possible.
Oh, I agree. It just sucks.
It does suck, but you will get through it. We all will get through it someday. Even if it doesn't seem like it's any day soon. I know. It's no fun. No fun. Hey, you don't have to tell me. If I had my druthers, I think my dad sometimes says his druthers. I've never really understood that phrase, but if I had my way, I think it would be certainly a boon if we could manage to find a solution to all of this that wasn't quite so anti-social, and I mean that literally, not like pathologically, because so many people, I mean me, I'm a very outgoing person. I don't need to go outside to find the charge socially in my world, but I mean, probably like over 50% of the world does, and that's a tough place to be if you're like a very outside, outdoorsy, talk to people face to face kind of person. I'm not particularly needing that myself, but if you did, then this is not the best time for you, unfortunately. So I'm very sympathetic to that and empathetic as well. But for the moment, all we can do is try to relax a little bit. Which, you know, hence Cass Talks.
Yeah, for sure.
An additional 5. Where would I connect this to get a 5 out of it, though? I don't know where I would connect this to get 5 out of it. I can't think of a place. I'll just start there and see where that goes. Despite all my face, I am still just a guy, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to make a joke there, but I didn't quite make it all the way through.
Right.
So, when it comes to Mary Poppins, you've seen the movie, right? You're familiar with it.
Yep. Good movie.
What is your favorite scene from that movie?
I don't really have a favorite, but I liked a lot of a lot of the music.
Did you like the part where they're inside of the chalk?
I don't think so. I don't think remember that part anyway.
That's where they're with the penguins. It's like the cartoon part of the movie.
Yeah. Sorry, it took me a minute to remember.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned it, that was a good part. I liked it.
The specific background and context of that part, I admit, are sort of hard to follow if you're not thinking about it. But yes, that they are in like a piece of chalk. I remember that I felt. Ooh, that's actually a really good spot for that. I felt like that scene didn't make any sense, and upon further inspection, it doesn't make any sense, even for a nonsensical movie. But it's okay. It's doesn't need to make sense for it to still have an effective grasp on your imagination. I think I don't know if I enjoy the blending of cartoons and reality like that. I think it's why I had a difficult time watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit, especially the parts with very sultry female drawn characters, because I think it triggered a sense of desire in me that has long gone unattended, and that trigger made me uncomfortable to try and keep watching it. But I mean, you know, that happens. Men and this world and all. It's a difficult thing to be consecutively given proximity and closeness to things like that would otherwise not ever effectively transmit their problem and problematic nature to you. But you know, the only thing you can do is try to accept how you feel and not get too bent out of shape about it. Certainly, I have not always lived by that creed, though, I have to admit. Ooh, we could make a little river down here. That'd be great. But yeah, have you heard of the camera lens that was made just for that scene? The scene where they are in the chalk. It's a very, very mysterious thing, Playful. Many people have always tried to figure out what the secret is, but apparently it was this very special type of camera that used a nearly unreplicatable, at least at the moment, type of crystal that when reflected into, it could shoot a layer of orange over the film that it was making. And the layer of orange was so perfect that you could basically place anything into that layer, and it was able to go through clothes effectively, transparencies, and it was just very, very good. And it made like rotoscoping and animating and stuff super easy. And the camera, apparently no one has figured out how it does that. No one has figured out how it works and been able to replicate it yet. It's very mysterious. And I think that's like one of the eighth wonders of the world, in my opinion, where it's like, oh, no one knows how it does that. It just does, and it's really good, but we can't recreate it. I feel like one day we will, but right now we have not. We have not. It certainly will be exciting if we can one day, though, right? It certainly will be. So, do you like the Wicked Witch of the West? Do you think she's cool?
I used to like her.
You used to like her. Has that changed?
Too bitchy to me. I mean, yes, she was a witch, but to me, she overdid it. Now that I look back at it, to me, she overdid it.
You mean she was too cruel as a
It was
witch?
a good movie. She's good in the movie when I first seen it, though. I have to admit.
I mean, it's another case of that overacting really capturing, you know, the role. Maybe more so than a genuine character existing behind it, which is the problem of many overacting roles. It's like, well, the overacting is so like it's so prevalent that there's no actual character left to engage with, which, I mean, I'm sure there has been many a case of that. I like the Wicked Witch, you know. I feel like the character is an interesting one to me. I don't know if it's a good character or not, honestly. I couldn't give an answer to that question, but what I can say is it when I first saw it, I was like, what is wrong with her? She's hideous. That was my first thought. What an awful, problematic thought to have about somebody with like a evil, monster mash sort of form. I wouldn't say that she had completely joined the monster mash, but she was on her way for sure, if not completely there. She was on her way.
Yeah. You know what the witch kind of reminded me of at first?
What?
You remember in the first part of the movie when it was black and white, when the woman took away the dog?
Yeah, that's the same actress.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's the implications of that are that Dorothy is actually experiencing a traumatic hallucinatory state. Is I think that the implications of that connection. I don't know if it is that she was in Oz, or if Oz actually exists. Maybe it's like some sort of magical thing that exists in the minds of the people who need it, sort of like Silent Hill. But I would imagine that she probably had like a extremely powerful and potent transfiguration in her mind from whatever the issue of the storm and the tornado was. She does hit her head, doesn't she? That's probably what does it, is when she hits her head.
Yeah. She was going towards something, and then while the tornado was going,
she got thrashed about.
Yeah, she got thrashed about, hit her head, I think, on her door handle, and then just fell on the bed.
Oh, it's awful. But yeah, it does make...
I don't remember her head against, but I know she hit her head against something.
Something.
And then knocked her out.
Yeah, it makes me think that I like the movie less knowing that. Like, remembering that made me enjoy the memory of the movie a little less, I have to say. But, I mean, that's just show business, trying to correlate things, so it makes sense that that they exist and that they're not just sort of a meaningless series of showboating and images, and there's actually some sort of connection and thread between them. If there wasn't, though, if they were just making a movie about a weird place called Oz... Oh, look, we're finished. I got canceled. I got canceled at 6,500. Yeah, I know. I got canceled at 6,500. If it was just...
Not even close to your eyes for.
Not even close, it's true. If it was just a series of weird stories and interesting landscapes and stuff, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't have been upset with that. Yeah, I think that I'm defeated by Dorf for now. Oh, hello, Chia. Did you just join us, or have you been here for a little bit? And thank you for your heart. Let's see. I'm still thinking about emotes that I might like. We need like a playful witch emote. Playful with a big old nose and a wart on her nose. Joining the monster match as the Wicked Witch. Or are you more of a good witch? Would you say playful?
The situation, I guess.
You're a good witch?
It just depends on the situation. I'm not sure exactly.
I'm more of a wicked witch, though I would not like to look that wicked. I have to be honest with you. I am not interested in being a gross monster person. Just me personally, not interested in that. I'm more interested in being like if I had to choose a monster to be, I would be like the vampire from, like, this is literally like the Monster Mash itself. I would be the vampire. I don't know if I'm happy being Frankenstein's monster or the mummy or the Swamp Thing. I guess the Swamp Thing doesn't seem like he's that bad off. He's just not very attractive looking. But I mean, the vampire, unless I'm like one of those like awful, like, oh, I constantly need to get my fill, and just an awful half-life, then maybe I wouldn't be happy with that. But if it's just like, you need to suck a little blood now and again, but you're good otherwise, I don't think I would mind that too much. So, Playful, did you happen to watch me playing this yesterday? Could you say it again for me?
I forgot to.
Oh, it's alright.
Then I forgot, and then we got in our last night thing.
It's true.
Did whatever on my computer.
It's alright. We'll play just a little bit of this, and then we'll call it in about 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Let me know how you feel about it, though. It's a very pretty game. I would love it if I could get a better frame rate on my computer, but my computer needs some upgrades before I'm going to be able to stream in a way that will make me happy.
I'll cop every once in a while.
Yeah, it does break up. It's when the graphics are getting up there is when it looks like that. But we'll see. In the future, it'll just be a reminder of how good things have gotten.
For sure.
It's so pretty, though. I mean, look at that. Well, how are you doing, Chia? How are you feeling? Let us know. Gosh, this game is so pretty. I used to play this game a lot when I was younger. It's just such a pretty darn game. I don't know what that alien emote means. Is that a good emote, Chia? Chia the Good Witch.
Yeah,
I know, right? I think Chia would be a good witch.
I knew that before, but I have no idea what that means.
I don't know what it means either, but I hope it's a good thing. It's like an alien who's just like, brah. It's a mood. Chia's a total good witch, though. She would be a good witch. The wind sound is so good. Did I get them all? Back in the PlayStation 3 era, when I first started playing this game, they made you do everything by moving the controller and using the DualShock axis changes. So like you didn't press any buttons, you just like shifted the controller side to side, and it would sort of respond by making you move in different ways. It was very difficult to control, but I got very good at it, and now I don't know what I'm doing by comparison. Oddly enough, the better control scheme is more confusing to me now. As is the nature of games being ported in ways that you don't expect. I'm just asking. I'm sorry, could you say that again, Playful? We're losing you a little bit.
You remember the old PlayStation where it used to be plug in?
Oh yeah, I remember. That was
The one I had growing up.
the PlayStation 2 had the most like frishin' ASMR opening to it. Do you remember that?
I only ever had the gray one, so no.
Oh man. It had like this like it was like it was so lovely. The PlayStation 2 was a fantastic console though. I loved that thing. I had so many fun games on there. That's the first time I played Resident Evil 4 and Coliseum Road to Freedom. How did I do that? How did I just make the flowers expand like that? So many mysteries to this game that I still haven't solved yet.
You'll figure it out.
The mysteries. The mysteries, Playful. They're unsolved, but they will be solved someday. But I'm gonna be solved someday. Oh, I think the game might have crashed a little bit. There we go. Back at it. You know, I haven't heard from Moss all day. I gave Moss one of my videos to try and relax to, and I think she might have fallen asleep for the whole day through it. I gave her the good night one, or one of the good nights. And either those will knock you out. I should start that series up again.
Either.
Come on, turn. It's so hard to turn in this game. Oh no. Wait, I'm getting some of them. Oh, I got them. Gosh, that's a hard one to turn. Ah, it's so pretty though. Look at that. Isn't that just the prettiest thing ever? Such a beautiful, dreamlike game. Always makes me feel like I'm watching like a really beautiful, like a lucid dream of some kind. And it has even more grass petals than the original, or grass than the original did. I'll show you. Actually, I think the settings are actually like ultra. Grass draw distance. Ultra. Lovely. Oh. There's this way you could shift the flowers in the original that you could have them like kind of balancing upside down. I'm not sure if you can still do that. Ah, that was so cool how you could do that back in the old day. I'm gonna try right here, just to learn the secrets. I don't know if I did it right, but it still looks darn pretty. It's a darn pretty game. Darn tootin'. Alright folks, that's gonna be it for us. After I go through this little canyon here, we're gonna call it. But I don't want to leave you looking for the call, or looking too hard for the last bit here before we do it. Oh, here we go. Here's the fast moving action segment of this area. I'm not going to do very well here, I think, but oh, look how pretty that is. I love this freaking game. This game is so it's like the most wholesome game of all time. Come on, turn. I can't turn. Oh, it's so hard to turn in this game. There we go. Oh, look, here we go. Love that. All right, guys, we've just gotten over the hour. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Playful, thank you very much for being my co-host as always. And
I will see you.
you'll see us again soon.
Who knows when?
You'll see us again soon. And as always, you guys have a lovely night. You stay safe, and you take care. We'll see you next time. Bye bye. Well, all right. How do you think that went?